years ago, a long time ago, I moved to France with a one-way ticket. I had studied French in college. I almost wonder if it's like a past life thing, but I'm like tied to this culture and this language, whatever it is. I'm like, I have to live there. I don't know anything else. And I'm like on the plane thinking, what am I doing? How's this going to work? I studied French, but I don't actually speak it, and I don't know who I'm going to live with for this whole year. And what if I fail? And what if this is a terrible idea? And, just like all of these fears surrounding me, just like able to penetrate at any place that I would let them. And I know the only reason I survived, and this was early 20s, so I was probably 21 or 22, and this has served me ever since. But the only reason I survived is because I knew there was no point in trying to figure out the whole journey. I knew that I could not see 15 miles ahead of me. I could only put one foot in front of the other, and that's all I did. I just sat on the plane, slept, ate, looked for the mom that I was going to live with in France who didn't speak any English. And that just continued to be my journey for that. It was just like one foot in front of the other. And so I was tying that into a couple of things today because I think that's where overwhelm comes from for so many people in business. And what I love is looking at the different types and bringing in human design to see how that's a little different for everybody. But basically trying to solve 27 miles ahead when we're actually just at mile 2. And so a huge part of that too is like being in our heads. And what I love about human design is it is this journey to pull ourselves into our bodies and let our bodies start to tell us which way is right for us and what feels right. And then we watch this begin to unfold instead of relying on our minds to like think of every little thing and every possibility. And the other thing I always bring into this work is that I trained jujitsu for a long time, and it was the same with that too. There's always so many similarities with jujitsu and business, jujitsu and life. There's just a ton of similarities, but basically same thing in jujitsu. When you're totally new, you're like, okay, so my hand goes here and then I grab there and then I step here. But then when you get into it, it's totally just body and muscle memory. And you just get into this place where it's just like your body's just doing, and the more you can turn your mind off and let it, the better. And I think that seriously applies to business also. So I'm going to break this down by energy types. So for generators and manifesting generators, the overwhelm, it's going to come from trying to initiate the whole plan, trying to know what your niche is and what your offer is and your funnel and your content plan, and just trying to see the future. You cannot see the future. And I'm guaranteeing you, like when you use your mind to try to foresee it all, you're creating control and containment of something it's inevitably going to be more beautiful than what your mind could even understand or begin to create. So so I'm a generator. We are meant to respond to what's in front of us. So I always love to ask, what is trying to get my attention today? So not next year, but just right today. I remember hearing and learning too that generators can only plan about 3 months in advance, but I'm a sacral generator, so I am only interested in what my sacral is saying yes to. And so, I can kind of go with that and make content around it and kind of try and have something that feels put together. But as far as content goes for me, it's like, what feels good? What's a yes? Not, before I knew this information, I was always like, the guidance was always like, plan a whole year in advance. And so I did that. And as soon as I got to it was probably month 2 or 3, it was like, not only did I not even look at that again, but it was like when I did kind of look it over, like, oh yeah, it was like, I hated it. It wasn't anything that I wanted to talk about. So for us, especially when we're sacral, like we can absolutely take that as it comes. And that's going to prevent a ton of that overwhelm because we're just staying in the moment, which is more correct for us. Projectors, your overwhelm is going to come from trying to create momentum and trying to be recognized. So a lot of the times the question here is, what recognition are you trying to force? And there's always one projector in particular that I always think of because she's just like quintessential projector out of alignment. And I don't mean for that to be rude. It's just that I actually tried to bring this information to her and she just could not, would not. She was already too far into what she was doing and how she was doing it to even conceive of a different way. But yeah, that question always makes me think of her. Like, what recognition are you trying to force? You're trying to get people to notice your genius when in actuality, you need to just stand in your genius and let people notice on their own. For manifestors, the overwhelm is going to come from carrying everyone else's concerns. So what would you do if you stopped managing everyone else's reactions? What would that look like for you? And then reflectors, the overwhelm is going to come from needing certainty before movement. And so for them, I'm just curious, what if clarity comes from the experience? We talked about this last time. Like, you have to be driving a car to steer it. You can't steer a parked car. And then also we keep talking about relaxing and then letting certainty come instead of waiting for certainty and waiting and waiting and waiting and still not feeling certain. Funny. So we're trying to do the opposite where we move and experience and learn and then let all that, we just relax into what the process is. And that really reminds me too of, we're about to jump into in the group, this whole dynamic around fear, which is something I've been working with a lot lately too. And it's just like, in this experiment that we dove into that is entrepreneurship, like we knew it was not the safe route. We knew there was a lot of risk and that there was not certainty. And so I think the more we can relax into that and sit side by side with that, the better off we'll be. And I know in my business, the more I can relax into anything that feels uncomfortable, the better. And so honestly, I just had this realization that, so I'm building the medicine cabinet. And let me go ahead and say that I have, it's 6/26 on 6/26/2026. Oh, now it's 6/27. I'm building the medicine cabinet and I love this. So I was going to say the first 15 people who jump in and purchase it for $27 will have it for lifetime access. And I'm going to if you know me at all, you're like, this girl's going to keep going. This library is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's never going to stop. And I'm really priding myself on the fact that this is not just like ordinary like mindset work at all. It is truly like the business that is the antidote to what is bubbling up for you right now. Your business is medicine, and this is the medicine that you need. But all that to say, where it's coming from, it comes a lot from clients, but it's also coming a ton from what I myself am working through. So it's like at this moment, I'm almost even kind of giddy whenever I have like a low day or a sad day or a dark day, because I know that something is on the precipice, like something is bubbling up right after that. Once I can feel the feeling and relax into it, and then start to, dive in and uncover like, what is it here? What is the next threshold when the next one and the next one? And so that's what I'm building all of this on as well. So from there, I'm going to jump off of here pretty soon, but let's go ahead and dive into the profile lines. So getting back into overwhelm. And so for line 1, the overwhelm totally comes from feeling like you need to know more first, which I'm a 1/4. So this is me. And I totally get it. And I totally feel that plight, especially from anyone in here who's like, oh yeah, that's me too. You can get a lot of imposter syndrome here because you're just like, I don't feel ready because I don't know if I know what I know. And I'm here to tell you that you do, just like the jujitsu thing we said earlier, it is in your body. Also, I meant to bring this in earlier, but I love to bring up, I have this handy dandy book. So it's from Karen Curry Parker. And, I don't know that I would necessarily purchase it now, but whenever we come around the new year, like, yes, absolutely grab this because it's so helpful and handy to know which transits we're coming into. If you are totally new to human design, just kind of let this information wash over you. It's not totally necessary for you. It will come with time if you absolutely love this work. But basically, throughout the year, we're moving through different gates, and we're calling those transits. And so we're in gate 52 yesterday. But I pull these in whenever I'm like thinking about something and pulling in different information. And then I look at this book and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're in gate 52. So what we're looking at here is this is the gate of perspective. So we're trying to, that's where this whole live for me today is coming from, is we're trying to gain perspective amidst the overwhelm. So, especially we just did a live about, being totally brand new to starting your business. And I think when you're there, overwhelm is wherever you want to look for it. I think that's true in any phase of business though. Like, especially if we're building without our human design, we can absolutely just have overwhelm all over the place and accidentally be a little too successful or accidentally be not successful enough. And then we're overwhelmed that it's not working and we're overwhelmed that it is working. And it's like coming in from all sides. And so this gate is just very much all about the big picture and not struggling with where we want to put our energy and our attention. And so basically, like with line 1, so we're overwhelmed because we need to know it all first. But gate 52 is like, what if you already know enough for the next step? So it's like shifting that perspective with us and for us. So the line 2 overwhelm is like, I need to feel ready. I'll do it when I feel ready. And then gate 52 here is saying, what if readiness isn't required? What if that's not necessary? What if you just do it and then you do it and then you feel ready eventually, or you never feel ready, but eventually you get better and stronger at this. Profile line 3. If you don't know your profile lines, message me and I will help you find them because they are crucial. Absolutely need to know those. A lot of times people will tell me they know their human design and they're actually referring to their energy type, projector, manifestor, and they don't know this kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's so much there though. And you gotta, like, even when you get to this, there's so much more under that and so much more. And to me, in my line 1 mind, that gets me really excited. But happy to dive into that with anybody who needs more information there. So line 3 is they can get overwhelmed because of the fear of failure, but they're designed to fail. They need to fail, 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 so they can learn, 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 learn. And so here again, this perspective from gate 52, the transit that we're in right now is like, the experiment is the path. And there again, the more we can relax into this information, that's why the information is so helpful, because it helps us know what to relax into, what's normal and regular for us, what we have permission for. And that way we can, business as medicine turns into basically understanding, like just understanding ourselves much more deeply and on these deeper levels, so that we know what is medicine or what is a battle or what we do stand against or stand for or relax into. It makes the whole map way more clear. Okay, next line, profile line, is line 4. And the overwhelm here can absolutely be, I need to know who can help me. And so in this moment, gate 52 is saying, just reach out to one person. Just make it one step at a time. Just take, what is it? The way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. That's what this gate is helping us think about and contemplate. Then we have line 5, and the overwhelm here is going to come because you're going to feel and sense that everyone needs something from you. But 52 right here is going to say, that's fine. That's there. It's always going to be there. But what is your next step? And then last but not least, line 6, the overwhelm is going to come from, I'm overwhelmed because I need to see the whole vision. We all kind of have this, but it's extra for line 6. Like, I need to see in the distance. And then so gene key 52 again, gate 52 is just saying once more, like, the next step is good enough. Let's break it down into just what's next here. So I've been doing EFT in the group, and I'm doing EFT in the medicine cabinet. Honestly, I I dive into a bunch of human design, and I love using human design and strategy and human design in strategy. But I feel like there's this manifestation component that we just cannot escape. And the manifestation really ends up being like this self development component again. And it really ends up being like, you know, how, in what way can we really chisel out the path that we want for ourselves, and how do we get the things that we say that we want? And it takes clarity of like understanding where you're going and what that needs to look like and what you truly in your heart's desire want it to look like. But I think a lot of people don't really think of human design for manifesting or EFT for manifesting. But right now I'm all about both of these. These two things in conjunction help you understand, like we said, where the pitfall is, where the pattern is, and then changing that and correcting it. Or, getting your self-trust and that strength and courage back, and understanding, like we said at the beginning, this is a path that you chose that is very challenging, but it's because the rewards are so massive and so beneficial. So let's just jump into some tapping. It'll be fun. I like it. I'm kind of doing it on the fly here, so we'll just see where it goes. But I always start on the side of the hand, so the karate chop. And basically here for me, I feel like for me, what we're boiling this down to is I don't need to know the whole path. And even though I do feel like I can tell there are parts of me that want to know the whole path, or maybe need to know the whole path, or maybe they don't feel like the next step is enough. And even though that's there, I still deeply honor, respect, and forgive myself. And then even though I feel overwhelmed and behind, or maybe I feel like there's more that I should know by now, or there's more that I should solve by now, I'm ready to still deeply honor myself and respect myself and forgive myself. And then I like to move to the top of the head. And for this part of the EFT, I always like to kind of explore how the feeling feels, and then find some questions there to move our way through. So, what if I only need the next step? That's a possibility, that I only need the next step. And I'm willing to consider that I don't need to know the whole plan. I don't need to see 10 miles ahead of me, even though in my body it feels like I do. And I'm willing to accept this idea that clarity can grow as I'm moving. It can grow alongside movement. And I'm also willing to accept that I can stop carrying mile 27 when I'm standing at mile 2. I am also choosing to believe that I can trust the next step, which is just beneath my feet. And as I tap on that, I can feel that I am able to release the need to see the entire path. And so I trust more and more what is right in front of me, which lets me allow the next step to be enough. Now you can totally continue tapping through that and exploring everything you feel with it, or you can stop right there, or you could even back it up and watch that again and go through the exact same EFT a few more rounds through. What I notice when I do EFT is I'll feel like this natural release. My background's in craniosacral therapy, and one of the signs of tissue release is like a deep, like inhale and exhale. And so that helps me always feel and sense where with my EFT I maybe just had some breakthrough, or where I'd want to go back and cycle through and do the EFT again. So what's funny is, and it's like kind of intentional, but it also just kind of works out that way. But the session that I totally recommend if you are absolutely brand new and maybe you're new in the group and you're like, what is she talking about? And what are profile lines? Or maybe you have been in the group for a while, but you're like, I'm curious what is here for me. The session that I recommend is called Your Clear Next Step, and it's $27 for a 1 hour session with me. It's actually a voice note session, which I really love on my end, and I'm noticing people really love on their end too, because we can dive in really deep and get right to the crux of the issue. And one of the best things that I do is the pattern recognition. So I'm able to see quite a bit and then get right to the crux of the issue in that 1 hour. And so, whenever you're so close to your business, that can be incredibly hard to do. So just in that one session, we can make huge gains that feel like not that big of a deal. Like it truly is the next step, and breaking it down into something that your brain can comprehend and your body says yes to, and helping you understand those processes so that they are feeling much more natural for you, which lets you feel much more trust in yourself, which lets you relax deeper, which lets the clarity come in. And I love how that's always how it works. So yeah, that's the offer in its entirety. Some people are going to hear that and be like, you know what? Who cares? I'm just going to do it. And some people are going to hear that and be like, I do just need to know just what my next step is. And some people are going to be like, I'm curious what human design's like. And so if any of those are you, perfect, message me step and I'll get you the information, and I have a few spots next week. I'm going to be out of town soon, so that's not going to work, but next week I am open. And then, yeah, this is all, meant to be when it feels in alignment. If that's not in alignment for you, then just stick around and learn what you can from the group. And I'm pouring my heart into the group, so I'm happy to serve you there also, because for me, it's truly an honor to have this sacred relationship in my business and with my client's business, and being able to see somebody's chart and help them understand more deeply, especially somebody who's already done deep inner work, and then to give them their next step is just, I consider it to be a huge honor. And what I always love to say is, don't forget that your business is medicine, but it's only medicine if you let it be. So if that feels like the right step for you, message me. And if not, let's just hang tight and see what unfolds next. We'll talk soon.